Oh, almost dropped the camera. That would have been an epic fail. What's happening, bro chachis? Today we're outside of Epic BMX, and I'm gonna take a little break from doing all the tutorials. So today I'm gonna have an expert, Fubu, teach you guys how to true a wheel the proper way.
Like, what kind of technical stuff you want? How to true a wheel.
How to wash a hand. I don't know if you got enough wheels here. Fu designed this shirt in 1983, and he's been wearing the same shirt since.
No, literally the same shirt. This is what they consider a truing stand. So, truing is to make something 100%, to make it true. So when something's true, it's 100%. So when you're truing it, you're gonna make it straight, and no hop.
Is there one of these that I can use on you?
No, you would have to put a false wheel on me. The thing you want to keep in mind is spokes only pull, they don't push. So if you look on this side, tightening this would pull the rim this way. If you tighten this one over here, it'll pull the rim that way. But you also have to keep in mind, when you tighten this, when you tighten it, it's gonna pull it this way, but it'll also pull and go down. If your wheel is hitting, it has a little bit of side load, and there's a little bit of hop. See where, you see right here, see how it goes high and low? Real quick, there's two sides. So if the rim hit this side, look at the gap on this side. So if you notice, right below that, there is a spoke on the side that there's a gap. So you gotta tighten this to pull it over. But you have to keep in mind, if I tighten it, it's gonna bring it over and it's gonna bring it up. As I tighten, right here, you're gonna see it's starting to move away. So now look, it's not touching no more. Now what you do is you take this knob, reduce it. See, now it's hitting again. Notice how it hits this side and there's a little hairline right here that's not touched. This side's touched, this side doesn't touch. This side doesn't touch, it's right below a spoke. So watch. Again, I'm gonna tighten this. You're gonna start seeing it's gonna open up. Now it opened up. Look. See now see how it touches that side a little bit? Now you're gonna just go, wait a second. The spoke is on the side that's touching. So do I tighten it? No, if you tighten it, it's gonna touch that side. So what I wanna do is I want to release a little bit of it. And it still touch. Now guess what? Look, now there's a one right here. Now I'm gonna tighten that. Tighten that's gonna bring it over. When you release, it's going to bring it over. When you tighten it, brings it over. See, now it's touching that side again a little right here. Here's that one again. I'm going to release. Release. And I'm going to go over. I'm going to tighten.
And for all these techies at home, righty tighty, lefty loosey.
Again, I got a little bit of area right here. I'm going to release. And see, look at that. I freed it up. I'm going to give it a little bit of a nudge right here. Just a little bit. Touches over there a little bit. Tighten this. Sometimes you guys notice, look at how much I'm turning. I'm just barely turning it.
Was that a quarter spin or an eighth?
Dude, an eighth. So look, notice how it's hitting again, and look, right below it, it's on this side. So I'm gonna give it a little nudge. Touch again right here. I'm going to give it a little nudge. A little bigger nudge. Look at the gap. Okay, now I want you guys see. It's touching here, and it's barely touching. Okay, could you guys hear it? Okay, right here. Look at the spoke I'm holding. If I tighten this, what's gonna happen? It's gonna pull it over there. Let me give it a little nudge. Now watch. No more sound.
You're a genius.
Here. Where's the sound? Right here. Because it's touching this, it's not touching this. So I'm gonna give it a little nudge because it's touching this, not touching this side. I gotta tighten this to bring it over. Listen. No more. Now it's touching this. Look at that spoke. If it's touching this, again, what guys? If it's touching this, you tighten this, it's gonna touch it more. So you got to loosen this and tighten the opposite. Loosen this and tighten this. I'm gonna give this thing a slightly a bigger nudge. Touch, loose, tight. That sound's coming from over here and I can see it touching. I'm gonna nudge this guy. There you go. There's still a little bit of a little hop. So now, when you want to do a hop, now that it's center, but there's still a hop, you got to do both of the left and right. You got to both tighten it the same amount to bring the rim up, or you loosen to bring down. Keep in mind again, spokes do not pull. No. It's all that meat you gave me. That sounds really
Pause.
There he goes at it. You set me up for that. Spokes only pull, it does not push. So if you come around here, you're gonna see how the hop in this. Come around and see how it hits, and it doesn't hit. It doesn't hit. It hits right here, right where the spoke I'm holding, and it releases right about here. So all these spokes right here between my fingers, I'm gonna have to tighten all of them a little bit to bring it up.
So that would be these 4 that are crossing. So
Yes.
2 here and 2 on the other
So
side.
I'm going to tighten just a little bit. Tighten just a little bit. You gotta tighten them the same amount because remember your wheel's straight right now.
So 1/8 of the spin or whatever for all of them. That would look like a lot.
Yeah, that one look like a lot because you know what? Sometimes the spokes itself, you know, these spokes aren't made by NASA, you know, so some of them are a little bit off. So sometimes because I built wheels so much, once I turn it, I could tell how much more tension. Okay, guys, look, it's not hitting, but it's still low. So I'm gonna give it a couple more turns right around here. Okay, now you got a little area again. It hits right here. You guys also have to keep in mind, sometimes wheels, you actually can't straighten them anymore because they've been damaged so much. There's flat spots, there's dents. Spokes are not going to straight out dents. Spokes are going to straight out rims that are slightly wobble. The dents, if it's dent, it's not going to do it. The other thing is that the seam. Here's the seam. This is where the rim is connected. This area right here, if you could feel it, you could actually feel, can you hear it? My fingernail getting caught. So when you spin it, every once in a while it's going to ping this little area here. That's one of those little areas you cannot avoid. Some of the better rims, if you guys always wonder, I want to buy a better rim, they'll weld the seams together and they'll machine it to make it as perfect as possible. This right now, you hear it? That's the seam. A little bit right here.
He's probably built over what, 3,000 or 4,000 wheels?
Probably, but you know what? I actually like it.
I know you do.
I like
therapeutic.
It's very therapeutic.
Therapeutic. Can you explain what crossing this is and why it's called the 3-cross or 2-cross?
The crossing, like for example, if I have my bare arm, there's no strength. But if I take 2 arms and I push it together and you try to pull my wrist, it's gonna pull down. I'm gonna have this arm to help it. But if you just hold this and you pull it down, I have nothing to hold it. So I cross it, it's helping pull it. So typically I do 3-cross, but they have 4-cross, they have 5-cross, they have 2-cross, and they have no cross. It's the one where you see it straight. The no cross, they do it because technically the spokes are shorter. So therefore it makes your wheel lighter. But because it makes your wheel lighter, it makes your wheel weaker because there's no crossing. It's just a bunch of hands like this that's just being pulled. There's no cross. The cross is right here, okay? Because it's this one right here, it cross this one, cross this one too, it cross 3. Now you notice how it goes, this one goes and then it goes under. This is where the strength of it is. See, look, it's not hitting no more. It all depends how messed up the wheel is. Like how we have this wheel where it has a little wobble.
You're a 13-year-old at home. How long should it take you to kind of get it a little straight?
I know a lot of 15-year-olds, they still can't do it.
You mean 40-year-olds that can't do it?
I would say about 10 minutes. As long as once you...
But once you mess it up, how long does it take to fix it? Like 45
It's almost better
an hour.
just to take it apart and you mess it up. No, you know what's real simple, dude. Just when you're doing it, just keep in mind pulling.
It's also tell them it's easier to keep it looser than it is to over tighten, because that's when you snap things. And
Good point. Where'd you learn that from?
probably from building wheels here.
Yeah. So a lot of time, you know, everybody's always, oh look, you know what? This thing's loose. This thing's loose. This thing's no. You want it a little bit loose, not too loose, because if it's not loose and it's tight, when you land wrong and the wheel flex, it's going to snap right here, or the nipple is going to pull out because it has no play. You want it to have a little bit of play, almost like a suspension.
Well, my explanation would be too that if you're tightening it down here, by the time you get up here, if you tighten it too much, it's gonna egg shape it, and it's also gonna be so tight here that up here is gonna be impossible to tighten it. So keep it nice and loose so that you can go all the way around evenly.
I mean,
you taught me that.
I mean, keep in mind this is the basic. This is the bare basic, because it gets deeper into that if sometimes you tighten so much down here, the whole wheel is gonna come this way. You're like, oh, there's a big spot right here, because the wheel is actually ovalized.
Right.
So this is just a basic fundamental. Just like I said, keep in mind, spokes pull, they don't push. So as long as when you see it hit one side, use a spoke to pull it the opposite side. If the rim is touching the bottom, tighten the spokes to pull it up. But if it's all the way up, you can't pull it down because there's nothing to pull it down. So you have to loosen it to allow the rim to go straight and down.
Perfect. Thank you, Fu.
Yeah, man.
I'm out.
All right, Fu taught me how to lace wheels. Well, I already kind of had the basic gist, but he really cemented how to do it properly probably 13 or 14 years ago. So he knows what he's talking about. I can vouch for him. If you like these videos, make sure to subscribe to the channel. And if you're ever in Southern California, you have to make it a point to come out and visit Epic BMX. Max, Fu, Martha, everyone here is lovely. You'll love them because I do. And I love you guys. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Peace.